Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. This video is going to be helpful if you are reading his I Speak of Freedom speech. This is going to give you some background information and we'll go through the context together. This is part of the distance learning for social studies for world history too. Okay, who was Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and basically where is Ghana? So if you look at our map here to the right, we can see Ghana. It's also known as the Gold Coast, sort of here on the west coast of Africa. We can see the flag of Ghana here. Now, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah spearheaded the Gold Coast's independence movement and its transformation into what we know as modern-day Ghana. He inspired subsequent independence movements throughout Africa, and he became Ghana's first prime minister in 1952, and later its first president. Here's another picture of Dr. Nkrumah. Now, in January 1950, Dr. Nkrumah initiated a campaign of positive action involving nonviolent protests, strikes, and non-cooperation with the British colonial authorities. Remember, it was formerly a British colony. When the Gold Coast and British Togoland Trust territory became an independent state within the British Commonwealth, and it became Ghana in March 1957, Nkrumah became its first prime minister. And Nkrumah concentrated his attention on campaigning for the political unity of Black Africa and assisting other independence movements in Africa. Something that was very important to him was, even after Ghana became independent, was for Ghana to spend some of its resources and some of his time assisting other colonies in Africa seeking their own independence, which doesn't come cheap and doesn't come free. And so when we're thinking about what is required for freedom and what is freedom, Dr. Nkrumah had a lot to say about Ghana's role and in Africa. Now, this is the context box that is above your reading. You have a reading that looks like this. It continues on a little bit longer, but I want to make sure you understand what we're looking at here. So the context is the background. We're going to read this together, and then I'll tell you what your job's going to be. So Kwame Nkrumah, 1909 to 1972, was the leader of Ghana and the former British colony of the Gold Coast, and the first of the European colonies in Africa to gain independence with majority rule. Until he was deposed by a coup d'etat, that just means like a overthrow of the government, in 1966, he was a major spokesman for modern Africa, and he delivered this speech in 1961. That's the speech we're going to read. It's entitled, I Speak of Freedom. Now, what are we doing with this speech? If you remember, our overall inquiry question is what is required for freedom? And our supporting question here is what is freedom? We just got to figure out what freedom is. And we're going to read some important people's work and speeches, including Dr. Nkrumah's. So you're going to read the full speech thinking about what Dr. Nkrumah says freedom is. When you get done reading, and I would mark up the document if you've got it at home, or make notes and highlight if you've got if you're in Microsoft Office 365 or working on it at Word or even on your phone. And when you get done, you're going to find, pardon my markings here, you're going to find the chart, and you're going to actually answer the questions here, like according to this leader, what is freedom? You'd put it here. According to this leader, how should his country relate to other nations? And that could mean Western nations or even other African, colonies. And so what method should be used to gain independence? You're going to put your answers in this box. Okay, good luck.